Hello there, good morning everybody. How are we all doing today? It is Saturday the 15th of March 2025. A nice bright morning. I'm right outside the Liver buildings. You can see there, the Liver building there. It is cold though, it's nice and bright but it's cold. So I'm here because I'm right outside the ferry terminal as well. I'll turn you around. So this is the Mersey Ferry Terminal over on Liverpool Pier Head. Right here, as I said, it is right outside the Liver building. See it there, and I'm here for a couple of reasons. So it's a video. This video wasn't really going to do, to be totally honest with you, but I feel like I need to respond to something that came out yesterday, and we'll get to that in a short while. But I'll explain why I've chosen this location. So I'm going to walk from here to the Everton Stadium down at Bramley-Moore Dock. Now there was there's been some news out about a special Mersey ferry service from here for the Everton test event, and I will read out to you. It says, plans for a ferry from Wirral to the new Everton Stadium announced. Now they make that sound as though you're going to be able to get a ferry direct to the Everton Stadium from the Wirral. You're not. Obviously there's no ferry terminal at the Everton Stadium, so it is to here. So I'll read you a little extract of the article. It says, an extra train and bus services are to be put on for the second test event at Everton's new stadium, as well as a special ferry for match-going fans. Around 25,000 fans are expected at the under-21 friendly match on Sunday the 23rd of March as part of preparations for the new 52,888 capacity stadium at Bramley-Moore Dock ahead of its full opening later this year. After meeting with fans groups and representatives from Everton FC, Transport chiefs have announced additional services are to be laid on across the region's rail, bus and ferry networks next weekend. Plus, plans include a special 5 p.m. direct Mersey ferries sailing between the Jerry Marsden Ferry Terminal at Liverpool's Pier Head, which is here, and Seacombe, which is over on the Wirral. A service which could become a regular matchday feature if passengers are high enough. So, that is really good. It is really good that they're including the ferry terminal in these extra travel plans, because there will be a lot coming from the Wirral. And aside from just the Wirral has access from the M53 motorway to, a lot of, everywhere else basically. So a lot of people may come and drive onto the Wirral, park on the Wirral, jump a ferry and come over, especially now that there are going to be more ferries, especially for the event. So what I'm going to do now, I have got something important to talk about. You would have seen from the thumbnail, but I'm going to do a walk from here down to the Everton Stadium at Bramley-Moore Dock, and just show you exactly how long it takes on the walk from here to Bramley-Moore Dock. So you would get off the ferry here. I'm going to do a ferry ride as well. I just can't do one today because they don't start till 10 a.m. I've got a couple of things to do, but I'll do one in the week, a nice ferry ride from over the water, Seacombe, to here, so you can see that as well. Okay, but we'll start here and take a walk down. So as I say, this is where you'll get off. Just going to put the drone up in the air briefly, show you where the stadium is, and then let's get down there. Let's get to it. Right, okay everybody, you can see we're just going straight up in the air from the ferry terminal. I'll show you where the ferry terminal is right now. I'm just going to go straight up in the air. Actually, we're up at 90 metres now, so I'm going to have to move out to the left just to show you exactly where the stadium is. And there it is, you'll see it appearing through the two buildings now. Well, there's more than two, isn't there? So there we go. Okay, there is the Everton Stadium at Bramley-Moore Dock. Zoom out. If I just look down, we are here. This is the ferry terminal. We are here. I'll give you a wave. And we're going to walk along, all the way along the front. We have to cut in at some part at Jesse Hartley Way, but then down to the Everton Stadium down at Bramley-Moore Dock. Okay, the ferry terminal over the other side, just so you know where it comes from, is there. It's that white. So that is Seacombe Ferry over there. Okay, and you can see the ferry's actually docked there now. So, get the drone down, that's where we're headed. We'll get the drone down, get over there, okay? Right, okay everybody, so there you go. That was just having a quick look at where the ferry terminal is and the route we'll be taking. You could see the Everton Stadium down at Brentwood Dock through the buildings, couldn't you? And we're going to be walking past those buildings and that. But I will do a little bit, a talk about where we are and everything. We are leaving the Pier Head now, as I showed you at the beginning. Live a building just to the right there. If I turn you around, and I'll have you on my GoPro as well, so you'll be able to see now. The main picture will be my walk, so you can see the walk and me in the bottom corner. So yeah, you'll have seen from my thumbnail to this video. If anybody doesn't know what a thumbnail is, it's the picture you see on YouTube that you click on, basically. So yeah, you'll have seen that I've put on that my response to the police charges that come out. That was released released by the police yesterday. So if you haven't seen, just to be clear, the police have released yesterday that on Thursday they found me guilty of breaching drone regulations. It was 2 flights, one in May last year, which was flying over the Mersey, and one in March last year, which was in Anglesey. So there was only 2 flights, okay. On both those flights, they say I breached visual line of sight rules on maximum height. So maximum height is 120 metres. Maximum safety flight height is 120 metres. And visual line of sight, what that means, in case anybody doesn't know, sorry. Visual line of sight, there's no specific set maximum distance that you're allowed to go when it comes to visual line of sight. The visual line of sight rules state that you must be able to see your drone at all times to be able to safely navigate it back to yourself or safely land it. Now that is because you could lose signal on your screen battery could go, you could have a malfunction, or you could need to bring it back. You could need to get it out of the air quickly. For example, if manned aviation, a helicopter, low-flying aircraft come into your flight zone, then you might need to safely bring it back swiftly, and you've got to be able to do that without looking at the screen. Okay, so that's what it means, but there's no set limit on that visual line of sight rule. Now, first and foremost, right, I wasn't going to post a video about this at all. It wasn't something that I've done throughout. I haven't let anybody know. I haven't told you all on my channel what's been going on. But the police, and then the press jumping on it and making the stories yesterday, I've had quite a lot of backlash from it. I've had a lot of support as well, so don't get me wrong. I do thank everybody that's put the support out there to me. I really do. Can't thank you guys enough. But I've had there's quite a lot of backlash, and the backlash comes even some name calling, and that as well. And so I think now it's important for me to post my reaction to it, just to let you all know there are things that you're not told, and you don't know about these flights. So but yeah, as I said, I wasn't going to post a video about it. I got it over and done with Thursday. I felt I had defended myself. I'd put evidence in and everything, which I won't go into too much because I don't know what I can and can't say. The police seem to be able to say what they want, really, but I'm not sure about it. But I had defended myself, and ultimately I lost, and that's based on the judge's opinion, which I accept, and I accept the fine, which I will pay. Of course I will. You make a mistake, or what's deemed as you've made a mistake. You pay for it yourself, don't you? And I thought that would be the end of it. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be, because the police have then wanted to post it just to tell everybody that, almost like to tell everybody that they got me. And I kind of understand it. They post that as a deterrent, but posting my address, you know, my road where I live, it's just not on, is it? It's just not on. And then they post that out, and then like I say, I get a backlash from it. I had parents at my daughter's gymnastic last night when I went to pick my daughter up, asking me about it. I'm sure I'll have parents at my daughter's school, my children's school, asking me about it. And this is why I need to do this video, really, to explain and feel like I kind of owe all my subscribers that have been incredibly supportive to me for the past 5 years. I feel like you probably need an explanation. You probably need to know the details of it more. So let's look at that. So 2 flights, okay. So let's put that into perspective, okay. I've carried out around 2,000 drone flights for my YouTube channel, commercial flights, and just for leisure, hobby. Okay, 2,000. That's estimated. There won't be an exact figure, but it is around that. From 2,000 flights, I've been charged with two flights. Okay, and they'd confiscated my drones as well. The DJI Mini 3 Pro and the DJI Mavic Air 3 Pro. Okay, they confiscated them on the 13th of June 2024 last year, and they still have them. Okay, so that's affected me as well quite a lot. It's affected me in the fact that I had to stop taking commercial work. And I've had comments on my channel. Actually, I only got one about 3 weeks ago off a lady on my channel who actually commented saying, Nick, your drone footage has gone downhill a lot. Have you not got your big drone anymore? No, I did reply to her saying, wow, that's brutal. And we had a bit of a laugh about it. But the fact is that yeah, it has, because I haven't got that drone. I did buy myself another one, but I bought it on a Curry's buy now, pay later thing, 6 months, under the impression that I would have had my drones back within 6 months, but it wasn't to be the case. It's 9 months later and they still have them right now. So yeah, going back to the flights in question then. First one was in Anglesey in March last year. I was doing a job for a film company. The film will be coming out, should be coming out soon. I'll let you know when it does. But I was doing a job for a film company and I was tasked with following a boat out to sea. The boat took off quite quickly, quicker than I thought it was, to be honest. It was only a fishing boat and it took off really quickly. So what I had to do, I took off from the beach, and I had to move up the coast myself, not the drone. I had to move up the coast really quick to follow it out myself, because I knew it was going to go quite far. So they've actually reported that on that one I reached 698 feet, which is really quite high. But on the drone was a distance of about 2.3 kilometers away from me. Now, I'd actually what it doesn't count, what the drone records don't count, is the fact that it only records its altitude from its takeoff point. But as it goes up over hills and over a coastline, the height of the ground level actually changes, and the rules, the drone rules state there, it can be 120 meters from the nearest point of land. So I put that in there to explain. Now listen, I accepted the charge because when I looked, it was only after the event, I looked at the height of that ground level, and it was about 30 meters. So I think the 698 feet puts me at about 190 meters maybe. I think, I can't recall exactly. So that's 70 meters over. So even if you take away that 30 meters of the rise and land, then it still puts me over, and I had to accept that. But I didn't know that at the time. And it was also, again, a bit of perspective, it was also 20 seconds. It was like the drone rose to that altitude in about 20 to 22 seconds, and it was immediately brought back down. I honestly think that it's been, as I've been moving myself up the coastline to follow the drone myself, I think I've probably put my thumb on the thumb stick the left thumbstick, and the drone's risen, possibly without me realising at the time. And as soon as I've realised, I brought the drone right down immediately. Like I say, it was like 20 seconds up, 20 seconds down. But nevertheless, over the limit. So I did accept that, but I just wanted to explain the circumstances around it. And I know there's loads of people jump on saying, you've flown over the limit, you fly over the limit, it's dangerous and all that. Again, to put into perspective about dangerous flying over the limit, okay, so one, there was no flight restricted zone. The nearest flight restricted zone was 9 miles away from my flight. And two, I can also see and hear. So if there was going to be a helicopter or plane coming, it's happened loads of times. It's happened when I've done live videos down here at Bramley-Moore Dock, when I've heard a low-flying aircraft and I've had to say to you guys on camera, I need to bring the drone down. I can hear a plane or helicopter, but I can't see it. So that's what you do. You just bring the drone down. So the act as though like it means because you're that height, all of a sudden a plane's going to possibly smash into your drone without any notice. It just wouldn't happen when you're that close to the drone, in my opinion. But anyway, like I say, I accepted that because it was over the height. Now the distance, as I say, the reports and the reports the police put out and the local press, which has really disappointed me, the reports, because they say it was 2.3 kilometres away. Now that's what the charge says, but I even showed photographic evidence that I'd moved my position up that coastline a lot, probably about 1k, 1.2k or something. I'd moved myself during that flight, and therefore it brought that distance down a lot. But look, the judge was, they seemed very fair. They did take that into consideration, but ultimately deemed that they didn't think I could see my drones. I still maintain that I could, but I accept the charge, and I've made changes in my drones now. As I said, somebody mentioned before, or a couple of weeks ago, that the quality of my drone footage has gone downhill. Now I've actually limited all my drones to a maximum distance away from me of 650 metres, and I've also brought the height limits down to 110, so it gives me an extra 10 metres window, because to get to that 120. But so that's some measures I've just taken to just be extra cautious. And although I maintain I can see my drones further on some days, not every day, but on some days I can see my drones further than 650. I now understand that I have to take into consideration other people's opinions as to whether I can or can't, which is a little weird. It's a little weird because when they're not here on the day, they don't know the conditions, they can't see through my eyes. They quite literally don't know if I can or can't see my drones. But anyway, like I say, I accept. I'm not here saying, I've done nothing wrong or anything like that. I'm here to just explain the circumstances around it. Because when you look at it on paper, how they've reported it, it just looks like I've gone out. I go out breaking the rules, like kind of willy-nilly, and do what I want, and it's far from the case. So let's look at the other flight in question. Was one where I've done on my channel flights called Wirral to Bramley-Moore Dock, where I take the drone off at the Wallasey Town Hall. I can actually see it over the water right there. Now I'll turn you around. Don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's over there. But so I do. We've just walked past the Isle of Man Ferry Terminal, by the way. So I do Wirral to Bramley-Moore Dock. And I take off from the Wallasey Town Hall, fly some distances across the Mersey, and then have a look at the Everton Stadium from over the Mersey. Now they picked up one of those flights and said that the data showed that the drone went to it was like 130 metres. Basically, it's 10 metres above the limit, and I cannot recall at all taken up that high, and there'll be no benefit for an extra 10 metres in the air above the Mersey. Honestly, there'll be no benefit to that. But I accepted that charge because the data's there. But an extra 10 metres, they've said it's kind of been reported that could have been catastrophic to manned aviation, and that now manned aviation, because they said military aircraft fly low over the Mersey. They don't fly at 130 metres. I tell you that for nothing. They don't fly at 130 metres, and I was just 10 metres above that window. Above is above, though. So again, I'm not trying to say there that there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just explaining like 10 metres, and I had to say, look, sorry about that one. I've no idea why it would have gone above 10 metres. I did say it's possibly I was pushing up on the thumbstick, pushing up on the throttle, and I've just let go of it a little too late, and it's risen a bit. Maybe the wind took it up a little bit, and as soon as it did, I've brought it straight back down. It's not like they were saying at all. I've operated for half an hour at 130 metres. No, nothing like that. Just that the drone went to that height. Okay. So the visual line of sight on this particular day, it was 1.3 kilometres straight over the Mersey. But again, I defend that because I said on that particular day, I could see my drone to navigate it back to me because I'd only flown in a straight line. Pretty much, I've flown in a straight line, banked to the left, and then come back. And I also reverse the drone back. I don't turn it round to fly back. I just reverse it back. So it's easier to keep eyes on your drone when it's in a straight line and there's no manoeuvrability. That's all. But again, they listened to my defence in the circumstances, and ultimately found me guilty for it, which I accept. So that was the 4 charges, and that was, in my opinion, I thought, okay, I have to accept the charges. Of course I do. I'm not somebody that'll go like appealing them or anything like that. I still maintain that I could see my drone on the 2 visual line of sight, and I still maintain that I'm not a dangerous drone pilot. And the fact I've got 2,000 odd flights and only 2 had issues which were not major in my opinion. Okay, others may think it is, and that's opinion based, but the one thing I will say is categorically nothing happened. Nobody reported those flights. Nobody got hurt, no damage was caused. Literally nothing happened. It's just that the police pulled me over and searched my drones, and then had to go, then took them to download them and search through to find them. It's almost like, I'd say, if you got pulled over in your car, for nothing as well, because I wasn't actually doing anything wrong. When I was pulled over, I didn't even have my drones in the air. By the way, I was just pulled over. So if the police pull you over, which they can under the Traffic Act, if the police pull you over, it's like them saying, oh, you've got a dash cam there, I'm going to take it, search right through it, and see if I can find any time when you went slightly above the speed limit. Alright, so, well, if you did, they find it, you've gone above the speed limit, you're guilty, there you go. But it is like that. But look, I thought once it all happened on Thursday. By the way, the charge, well, there's several things wrong with the report, which I'll get into now. But I thought that was it Thursday, and it was dealt with after 9 months of this being on over my head and everything. And I haven't reported about it at all. I've got my footage. I recorded sitting in the back of the police car what the police officer was saying. I recorded all that. I've not posted it or anything. I've not done that. I've done that for my own purposes, so I could watch it back and find out why I was pulled over. It's never my intention to share any of this, but since they have, and they've reported incorrectly on it, in my opinion, and then there's a backlash, I feel I have to respond. Honestly, I feel like I've got to respond. I feel like I kind of owe it to you, supportive subscribers, as I've said. So let's look at the report that's come out. So a couple of the press reports, they just jump on it, don't they? They just twist it, and that's if they can make it sound better or worse, they will do, you know. So the press reports, local press, starts off by saying Whittleman flies drone over Bramley-Moore Dock Stadium and ends up with a £2,890 fine. No, it wasn't over the stadium. No, and the police reports don't even say that. They say Whittle to Bramley-Moore Dock Stadium, but it didn't get close to the stadium. Okay, so that's false. It's false reporting. It was not over the stadium. It was over the Mersey. False reporting right there. 2, both the police and the press got my name wrong. They spelled it B-A-N at the end, and it's B-I-N. That's just nitpicking, really. But 3, they also said fine of £2,890. Now, as far as I'm aware, it wasn't. It was £2,250. It was 2 charges of £300 each for the height, and 2 charges of £500 each for the distance. So that makes £1,600. And then then there was the Crown Prosecution Service costs, which was £650. So £2,250. And the judge asked me how I could pay that. I said in 4 instalments. So he said, okay, that'll be £550 a month. And I said, okay, even though in my head I was like, well, I think there's an extra 50, but still. That was what was said in the court. That was the order. And then the reports come out saying that there's a £640 surcharge, victim impact charge or something like that added on. That was never mentioned in court, and there was no victim in this. Somebody's told me, a police officer I know has told me that the victim may be the Crown. There was no victim. Nobody reported these flights. They just took my drones and found them. So yeah. So that's wrong as well. So we've got, I wasn't over the stadium. The amount of the fines were wrong. My name was wrong. And now a major factor here, in my opinion, is that they haven't told you the full story as well. So the Crown Prosecution Service and the police applied to keep my drones. They done a forfeiture application, applied to keep my drones based on these flights, and said it's obvious that I could be a danger to manned aviation or whatever. The judge ordered them to give me my drones back. I haven't got them yet. The police officer said that they'll have to wait to get the final court order. Despite him being there and seeing that it was over, they have to wait for the final court order before the evidence can be released. I understand that, okay. Although a lot of people are telling me that'll take ages, they'll drag their feet with that and all that. So we'll see. Look, it's the 15th of March today, 2025. That court case ended on the 13th of March 25. So I'll keep you updated as to when I do exactly get them back. But the main point is, they failed to report that the judge ordered them to give me my drones back. And so they failed in their application to keep them. My drones are worth more than the fines, for a start. But it's fundamental, because the reason why the judge ordered them to give me my drones back is because she feels and deemed that, given all my evidence I put in about how many flights I've done, showing the circumstances around the flights and everything, she deemed that I'm not an irresponsible drone pilot. She deemed that I've made a mistake on 2 flights. She said, props the job. You got caught up in the job, and you were desperate to get the footage for your client. I appreciated that, although it wasn't the case. Like, I got nothing from that height at Anglesey. I didn't record any footage from that height, and it was the same with the one over the Mersey. I gained nothing from it. It's just what I can only put down is a silly accident. Like, I'm not out there operating at those heights at all and getting footage from those heights. So yeah, they failed to report that though, because it doesn't work for them, does it? It doesn't work for them to say, Whittleman fined £2,890, which it wasn't, as far as I'm aware. But they failed. They don't want to say fine, but we've got to give him his drones back, which are worth about three grand, just over 3 grand. They don't say that. They don't say. But we asked to keep his drones because we put it to the court that he's a dangerous drone operator, but the court said no, he's not. He's okay, actually. He's of good character. He's made a mistake. I'm going to fine him and give him his drones back. Let him carry on. You know, doesn't work for them, does it? Doesn't work for their agenda. So I wanted to set the record straight on that. Hopefully I'll get my drones back soon. Now I want to thank people for their support first. Loads of support. Somebody even said, Nick, set up a GoFundMe page. We'll help. I don't even want to consider doing that. I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm not going to consider doing that. Look, I'm the one that's been deemed to have made the mistake. I'll accept it, and I'll pay for that. I'll pay for that, and it won't happen again. As I've said, I've already limited my drones to stay within limits that others could judge are safe. Whether or not I can see them at further distances, it's irrelevant now. For all you other drone operators, you be careful of that as well. If you feel like you can see your drone going 800 metres, 900 metres, 1,000 metres, you can see it on a perfect day, you're going in a straight line. Forget that. Bring it back. Stay closer. Honestly, it's not worth it. Now I want to talk about the report itself that's come out, because I've had quite a bit of backlash from it. And the thing is with it, right, people seem to think that they know me when they read these reports. You don't, believe it or not. You know, you watch me quite a lot on YouTube, which I'm grateful for, but you know, you don't actually know anything else that I do, all the other bits and bobs that I do, and how many flights I do and all that. So, but you also, firstly, right, the police put the report up there straight away really quick, so I've got to wait for a court order before I can get my drones back. But they don't have to wait for a court order to come before they can put the reports out there. They put in the road where I live. They'll affect my family. They'll definitely affect my business, my drone business, which to be honest, it's just a YouTube channel now, because they've pretty much killed that anyway. So then reporting on it is just pretty much kills it, doesn't it? So, but people, right? People that put social media posts out there. We've all seen it recently. People putting their opinions on social media and that, and posting stuff that will drum up hate towards others. They've had police knocking at their door, arresting them, or questioning them and that, charging them. Why can the police do it? Why are the police able to post something like that will drum up hate towards people? Why is it okay for them to do? Why is it okay for them to post my address? Why is it okay for them to post wrong information and not the full reports? Why is it okay for them to not tell people that they've been ordered to give my drones back? Why is it okay for them to tell people the wrong fine amount? Why is it okay for them to not tell people the kind of full story, the report? Because they just want to get the story out there, my name out there. Look, we got him, kind of thing, and have it as a deterrent. But it's completely unfair. That's my opinion, and it's about me. So perhaps I will say that. But honestly, you guys just have a think about that and think, why is it fair that if other people post things, they will perhaps go and knock at their door, tell them your social media posts are out of order, you need to take them down, and we're going to charge you this, that, the other. But why are they able to do it? Why are they able to do it? And it has brought a backlash. It's brought quite a backlash from people having their opinions on it. And people, like I say, I've had loads of support, but you have people saying, so it's idiots like you why the drone rules are getting harsher for the rest of us and all this. No, it's not. But to those people, right, and I'm sure there'll be some on here today, there'll be some that watch this and think that I'm going to just stop here. We're by the Bramley-Moore pub and it's taken me half an hour to walk from the ferry terminal, but it's that was a slower walk as well. Nice day, like. But yeah, like I say, I'm sure there'll be people on here that want to come on and say you broke the rules, you deserve it and all that, and okay, that's your opinion, but just before you post any name calling or anything like that, or anything nasty, right, before you post nasty comments on anyone's social media, on any other YouTuber, any other content creator, any other person, right, just have a little think. Have just a little think before you do it. Have a little think how that affects them, right? Because I'll tell you all, right. Content creators like myself might get hundreds of really nice comments, good comments, supportive comments. It's the nasty ones that stick up there. I'm quite lucky that I feel like I'm quite a strong person, and I have a very, very strong support network around me, friends, family, and you guys, a lot of you guys as well, are very, very supportive, which I really appreciate. But other people aren't so lucky. I know that there's been somebody recently, somebody relatively close to here, that had a few bad comments and they didn't post any more videos for weeks, and it can affect people. And you don't actually realise that you should just sit there, post something on your phone, on your laptop, on your iPad, whatever. You sit there and just post it and call somebody a name, drum up some hate, and you move on. That person then has to sit there and deal with that, deal with the backlash, and it's not right. It's a funny world we live in at the moment, but that's just not right. It's just not fair for people. So just have a little word with yourself. If you're gonna jump on and say something nasty, just go and have a cup of tea or something and have a little think. Just sit on it for a minute and have a little think. Do I really need to post that about him or her? I don't actually know. I don't actually know them. I just think I know everything about everything. Just have a little think to yourself, because I'm all right, as I say. I'll get on. Does it affect me? Yeah, it does. But I'm all right to crack on and move on with it because of the support I've got. Others might not be that lucky, and you could seriously damage somebody. This goes to the police too, you know, and the press. They should have a little think. When a judge finishes off by saying they believe I'm of good character, never been in trouble with the police before, anything like that, they believe I'm of good character, they believe I'm no, give me my drones back, will cause no danger, and all this, why do they then feel that they should go on and post to do their best to slay that character? Why is it allowed? So that's all I've got to say on the matter. 2,000 flights plus, give or take a little. Been charged with 2 of those flights. 2 charges in each, 4 charges. Defending myself, found guilty. I'll accept that. I always will. I'll always hold my hands up if I feel like I've done anything wrong. I'd hold my hands up. On this occasion, I actually didn't, so I defended myself, and I lost, and I'll accept that too. I'll pay the fines and I'll move on. And I didn't, just to repeat, honestly, this is genuine. I didn't want to do a video about any of that. I just wanted to get it over and done with Thursday at the hearing and move on with things. Okay, it's done, move on. But the police and the press didn't allow that to happen. So I feel that I'm forced into responding to it, just to let people know that not all is always what it seems, and there's definitely more information to what you've read. Hopefully I'll get my drones back soon, But as I said, it's the 15th of March now, and we'll let you know. We'll let you know when I do actually get them back. It might be interesting. It might be interesting to see how long that takes. But guys, listen, thank you for listening. Thank you very much for listening. I'm sorry that I had to do that video. We're here. I hope you enjoyed the walk down on the GoPro. I hope you enjoyed watching along. So we went down the right down the front to the Isle of Man Ferry Terminal, across the Isle of Man Ferry Terminal. Then we had to cut in at Jesse Hartley Way, onto Regent Road and down to the Everton Stadium, which stands there right in front of us now and looks absolutely glorious in the sun. I'm going to actually get my drone up in the air now, do a little video about a few things that have come out, have a look at like the Everton Way of the South Stand. That'll come out either tomorrow or Monday night. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry that I had to bring that to you, and I felt like you deserved an explanation. My really supportive and loyal subscribers, I really did feel like I should explain the circumstances to you and just let you know that I'm really not a drone operator that just goes and breaks the rules as and when I want. I'm really not. There were 2 flights in about 2000 that were brought up, and I'll pay my dues for them. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Please like, share, subscribe. I really do appreciate you all. Take care. Bye now.